जय हिंद दोस्तों। हमारा बहुत बड़ा सौभाग्य है कि आज हमारे लिए वक्त निकाला है एक ऐसी हस्ती ने जिन्होंने देश सेवा करी पूरी जी जान से, अपनी जान की परवाह ना कर अपनी जान जोखिम में डालकर, अपनी जान पे खेल के हमारे मुल्क वासियों के लिए, ताकि वो आराम से अच्छे से रह सकें, सो सकें। इनको अपनी बहादुरी के लिए बहादुरी पुरस्कार से भी नवाजा गया है, इनको सेना मेडल से भी नवाजा गया है। और खास बात यह है दोस्तों, इनका बहुत ही इलस्ट्रियस करियर रह चुका है फौज में भी और फौज के बाद भी। फौज में ये असल में ओएसडी, ऑफिसर ऑन स्पेशल ड्यूटी थे, चीफ ऑफ आर्मी स्टाफ, कारगिल के टाइम पे जब जनरल वीपी मलिक चीफ ऑफ आर्मी स्टाफ थे, उनके साथ ये ऑफिसर ऑन स्पेशल ड्यूटी थे। उनसे पहले भी कई अच्छे अच्छे टेन्योर कर चुके हैं, देश विदेश की फौज देख चुके हैं, इनका एक्सपोजर बहुत है फौज में भी और फौज के अलावा भी। और जहां पे फौज के अलावा जो उन्होंने काम किया काबिल तारीफ है। ये एक एग्जाम्पल है, इट्स एन इंस्पिरेशन, इट्स एन एग्जाम्पल फॉर लॉट ऑफ पीपल टू फॉलो। So basically, we were talking about your journey even after the army. Sir, your analyses are always perfect, bang on. And you speak on Indo-China conflict, on various world issues, on various geopolitics. It is not only the senior people, even the youngsters like me. We learn from watching you. I mean, how you speak, how you deliver. It is your life story has been extremely interesting. I would like to hear from you, sir, about your journey, about joining the army, what motivated you to join the army, and the amazing journey that you had, sir.
Well, I'm firstly my Jai Hind to you and to the viewers on the 73rd Republic Day celebration today. We are grateful to our nation that we are today one of the biggest powers to be reckoned with. Well, I'm basically from the family of Defence Forces, and my father was in the Indo-British Army. He served, like you can see, the medals on my right hand side are primarily of my father. I'm second generation officer, and my father fought in Burma Battle with the Indo-British Army, was awarded a Burma Star, and of course the Indo-British medal. He also served in the UN peacekeeping forces. So that motivated me and my younger brother, Colonel Ashok Chopra, who too served in the armed forces, and we both donned uniforms. So that was the basic motivation of our family of uniform, since we were posted all the time in the cantonment areas and were brought up in the army culture. And later on, even my wife, my wife is also from the armed forces. She served for 15 years in the AMC, and Colonel Ashok Chopra's wife was also Major Madhu Chopra, who served in the armed forces. My sister got married to a colonel from the AD regiment. So you can see all of us are, from the defense forces. And fortunately, our children also, including Priyanka Chopra, Parniti Chopra, are all the time staying in the cantonments and with the parents. So they also imbibe those values of discipline, hard work, motivation. So that inspired us to don the uniform. And I, throughout my life of 36 years, I was in the uniform. So I was commissioned in 1970, the SS-8 course from the OTA, Officer Training Academy, in short service. Those days, short service had a lot of charm to, join. One was that you can decide whether you want to continue on a permanent commission. Second was the government was giving you a chance to go for the IAS, IPS, civil services with antedate seniority of the army of 5 years. So once I started serving, and in the initial stages itself, I was awarded a gallantry award within 1.5 years of service. So I got the full taste of the battle, and I was a battle hardy right from the beginning. So therefore, I continued with the armed forces. In between, I had good chances of, I was given being responsibility in the civil areas, but I never looked back thereafter and continued with the armed forces till date, till the time I retired. And during the course of my 36 years of service, since I was commissioned infantry officers, I served in most of the border areas, difficult areas of mountainous areas, high altitude areas, jungles, deserts on the border areas. And I loved my life, though it does, and I, the counter-insurgency areas like Nagaland, Mizo Hills, Manipur, then J&K, Ladakh, Siachen, Gulmarg, Sonmarg, high altitudes and snowbound areas, uh, jungles of Nagaland, Mizo Hills, and deserts of Jaisalmer. So it was a great fun during the journey of my this thing. Then since I was commissioned in the Kalidhar battalion, which was already a very highly decorated battalion with 21 awards in 1965, and the battle honor of Kalidhar. So I was brought up right from the childhood in the commissioning of those great stories of the war, where we suffered more than 60 casualties dead in that attack on the Kalidhar, which was blocking Aknur Road, and all supplies were blocked to the Kashmir. But my battalion, including my CO, Brigadier Nandgopal, Mahavir Chakra, and another boy who got Veer Chakra, Major Ganapati, who got Veer Chakra, total 91 awards. So I was brought up in that beautiful atmosphere with my battalion. And fortunately, later on, I got the command of the same battalion, which is a dream of every infantry officer. So that also during the peak of militancy in J&K from 90 to 92. And then I commanded my infantry brigade 322 in Jaisalmer area during the Op Prakram. And we were almost about to go for a war with Pakistan, as our Prime Minister had said, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, आर पार की लड़ाई होगी.
After the December 13 attacks, sir, the Parliament attacks, when you were
Yes,
deployed on the
but
Western Front.
I feel bad it didn't happen. I wish it had happened. We were in a great position to do well. We are in a great position to do well. So that is my journey of 26 years in the armed forces. And I was fortunate that my spouse, who too was from the armed forces, was a great support to me since I was an infantry officer. I had to keep away from the family. So she was a greater support in bringing up my two sons. One is a radiologist consultant, and the younger one is in Australia. They got the best of education. She herself was a scholar and a radiologist, MD radiology. So therefore, the children got the best of education in the cantonment areas. And then finally, since I was too much into the field, I shifted them to Sherwood College, Nainital.
So,
So there was a great history, because then when I went and met the principal, Mr. Mountford, who the 150 years old school. So I told him, why can't our children also get the admission? The only bigwigs are getting admission here. And I told him I'm commanding a battalion in Delhi right now, ceremonial battalion. And thereafter, of course, my battalion moved to J&K. He took out a paper and said, give me the names of your children. I said, well, Saurabh Chopra and Master Dhruv Chopra. He quickly said, please get their uniforms made. Colonel, I'm really honored that both your children will be in my school. I mean, that was one of the greatest tribute I got. I was very touched by Mr. Mountford. And later on, I realized, and he told me that his father was also in the defense forces, a Gurkha regiment as a captain, and fought Second World War. To exchange some note, he offered us some lovely tea.
Even Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw was from Sherwood. Amitabh Bachchan is from
Yes,
Sherwood. You have a whole lot of illustrious
and
alumni from Sherwood. Best way to sort out an army brat who shifts school after every year or two is to send to a boarding school. So my father too was in the army, so he too went send me out to a boarding school. The tie I'm wearing to Lawrence School, Lovedale in Ooty. I grew up there ultimately.
so you see, in addition to the stint in the armed forces, I never stopped in getting all the best of the facilities that the armed forces provides you, like sports, adventure, uh, and you can improve your education side by side. So I graduated in the defense management from Indore University. I did the postgraduate degree in Xavier Institute of Management, Bombay, while I was posted in Bombay. And also in the sports, I played Ranji Trophy in the younger days and also in athletics. And there, after joining the army, I played services, inter-services. Uh, and especially when I went to do the winter warfare course and the mountain warfare course, I got the taste of adventure. I developed imbibed those values of that altitude warfare school of our ski troopers and mountain troopers. And I excelled in the skiing that I became a national champion. Thereafter, I was to go for my course in Austria, an advanced course in Austria. Uh, and later on, I continued this. I was posted as the chief instructor and the deputy commandant in the high altitude warfare school. And almost for more than 7 seasons of skiing and mountaineering, I was enjoying myself. Did 19 expeditions. Then later on, when I was a Deputy Director General of Army Adventure Wing, I was elected as the Vice President of Winter Federation Games of India, and took the team to Iran, for Asian Championship at Chief de Mission. So I continued my interest. It was a great instinct, great this thing, serving as Deputy Director General of Army Adventure Wing, where I got a chance to conduct almost 90 expeditions in various fields. Like mountain sports, mountains, expeditions, including the Everest expedition, where we sent 50 individuals during the Golden Jubilee of Everest in two peaks. That is the Everest and also Lhotse, which is a joining peak with the same base camp and same advanced base camp, going from the advanced base camp going towards the uh, Everest in the left and going towards the right to the Lhotse. That became almost a world record of putting 50 mountaineers on the peak during the Golden Jubilee celebrations. So that was one big achievement during my time, which we started from beginning. Thereafter, I sent another expedition of ladies to the Everest, and other areas were like international games we conducted. With Nepal, we conducted the Everest expedition. With Nepal and Sri Lanka, we had rafting and this triathlon, scuba diving, these competitions we organized. Uh, it was a beautiful experience. And other areas were like ballooning, microlight, desert safaris, mountain safaris, cycling, microlight aircraft, uh, paragliding, and so many other fields where we conducted those expeditions for 2.5 years of my tenure as Deputy Director General of Army Advancement. And one of the major things that time happened was Mission Olympic. General Padmanabhan was
Yes.
the Chief of the Army Staff. And as I landed, I was told in 2000 that he wants to run Mission Olympic. He wants to create Mission Olympic, where our
The
army.
sports school, the Fauji sports school in Pune, it was General Padmanabhan's brainchild, in fact. Yes,
That's right.
which we
That's
saw
right.
Neeraj Chopra winning a gold medal in the Olympics. That's right, sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah.
Catch them young, sir.
He was the first one, to get a gold medal in shooting, and this project was initially sanctioned by the government for 30 crores, 36 crores, and later on rolled into much bigger. So the Sports Medicine Center in Pune, where we brought in the scientists, the foreign equipment, the machines, training centers, and various modern gyms where they could develop the. And then we made a policy after my paper was sanctioned that will pick up young people. That was my big recommendation. We pick up at the national level children below 16 and national level children below 19 and make the sports company of 50 each. And these children was given uh, a, a pay amount of a Havaldar. Plus, they were also doing the education in the central school in Pune. And each child was given 3 to 4 years to develop so that these people could identify the potential of each child. So how much is the lung power, how much is the muscle power, how much is the oxygen it can convert into energy, like that. Very scientifically, they were training them. And large number of them went to the Asian Championships, especially we had picked up 8 disciplines. That is the athletics, boxing, archery, shooting.
But let me tell you, though Brigadier Chopra is a hero in real life, his niece, Priyanka Chopra, as you all know her as not only Miss India but also Miss World, international superstar, mega star, one of the biggest stars that Indian industry has seen. Is his niece, is his real brother's daughter, who has made not just the forces, not just the country, but the continent, everyone proud. I was saying that you have been a hero in real life, and your nieces are heroines in real life. so I would draw a parallel with my father, who had been the deputy chief of the army staff, and he also, I would say, as a hero in real life, and his younger brother, in fact, Priyanka Chopra has worked with him in Krish, Nasir Saab, Mr. Nasiruddin Shah, hero in real life. So he wrote a book, in fact, in which he dedicated the second chapter to his brother, in which he written, Living Under the Shadows of a Celebrity Brother. And my father did not seem to really mind it at all. That despite his illustrious service, being the deputy chief, being the AMU vice chancellor, but yet being known at the end of the day as Nasiruddin Shah's brother. So many times, despite your selfless and illustrious service to the nation, a lot of people would be referring to you perhaps as Priyanka Chopra or Parinita Chopra's uncle. So how does it feel to be having such illustrious nieces, sir?
Priyanka has been brilliant from the childhood. She was slim, tall, and very expressive eyes, and very intelligent, and very good gift of the gab. And since my younger brother, Colonel Ashok Chopra, was an excellent, in addition to being an excellent surgeon, he was also an excellent singer as a hobby. And he could easily hold the stage for hours and make people laugh and crack jokes and communicate with us, the audience beautifully well. And Mimi, we call her Priyanka Chopra, was on the stage. So she developed that state confidence right from the childhood. She could sing well as child, so we thought she'll become a good singer like the father. But after she came back with a stint in America, now she wanted to go for the Miss India competition. So we were quite surprised. We are a family of armed forces. Nobody has ever gone to the Bollywood. We don't know anybody. There's no father figure there. So we tried to dissuade her initially. Beta, these are all temporary, modeling, this, that, and other. You study well, and thereafter we will see. But she was insistent, and finally she went for this competition, and we were surprised that within no time she was selected in the first 20. We're totally surprised. She had a fantastic gift of the gab, there is no doubt. Especially after she came back from America, her accent and her personality developed quite a lot. And well, after she became Miss India and Miss World, so rest is the history. Not only the Bollywood, probably the India and East Asia. She's the one of the top icon who is ensuring the women empowerment uh, as a leading lady in the world. But she has
Undoubtedly.
worked. She worked very, very hard for it. Very, very hard for
Undoubtedly.
it.
Undoubtedly, sir. Undoubtedly.
Whereas Pariniti took the different route altogether. She was also brilliant, intelligent child, and went to UK to did her masters in the economics, London School of Economics. Returned back to Bombay, and she was working initially with Yash Chopra company.
My niece is studying at London right now.
Wow, wow, wow. So she did not come through the Miss India or Miss World or Miss nothing. And while she was doing this, the taking care of the Chopra marketing, Chopra house marketing, and also then she wanted to switch on somewhere else after this. So she took some leave, came back from Ambala, and asked them that she wants to know, please clear my account. As they were, clearing her account in the process, there was an audition going on. So in that audition, they asked, while they were setting up for this film, the first film of hers, where she got the debut award also. Uh, they said, okay, when they saw the audition, they found this is the girl you were looking for. Daughter of a property dealer. She
Right.
acts
Right.
as, and went off so very well. And she got a debut award in that. And then she was immediately signed for 3 films by them. And the rest is history, as you know. She has also worked hard. And Priyanka, of course, has worked very, very hard for a longer time, longer period. But Parniti is on the way now up. She's still young and doing very well for herself. And
Sir.
Priyanka has made her space now in Hollywood. You understand?
Yes. Yes.
And with a lot of hard work. And now she, as you know, she developed her singing talent also. After getting married to especially the Nick. Now they're all rock stars. Yes. They're a family of rock stars.
So you all are a family of rock stars. The Chopras are a family of rock stars, and the nation is proud of you for the services you have given to the nation in the forge and outside forge as well, sir. In fact, it is we are the nation is indebted towards the Chopras for the selfless service towards the nation, and we are extremely proud of you, sir. Sir, Mrs. Chopra, your wife.
Yes,
This
yes. I wanted to mention to you that our wives have also played a big role.
yes, yes, sir.
Like my wife, who's retired as took the retirement, premature retirement as Sergeant Lieutenant Commander, was a very big support to me. Today, what I am, she was absolutely a pillar behind me. And similarly, Priyanka's mother, Major Madhu Chopra, she has done a lot in developing the career of Priyanka. You're getting my point? And same is
Yes.
my younger brother, Pawan Chopra's wife, Reena Chopra. She also helped a lot in developing Parniti Chopra. So our wives have played a big role. So I want you to introduce my wife and
Yes.
want her to give her
I'll be on the other one.
this thing. Okay. And
It'll be an honor, sir. It'll be an honor. Please, sir. Please.
I'm on this. She's coming on the laptop.
इधर आ जाओ इसी पे आ जाओ भी now चल रहा है. You come and sit here.
Okay. Hi,
Jai Hind,
how are
ma'am.
you?
Very well, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
What an honor to meet you, ma'am, virtually.
No,
I've
I think
heard so much about you, so many good things. And Siddharth always talks Gucci. He always talks very, very highly of you, ma'am. Ma'am.
no. It makes me feel very humble, and thank you so much for your
Ma'am, thank you for
lovely
taking your time. And
compliments.
ma'am,
No.
you look so graceful, elegant, and you spell class. What an army wife should be. I mean, you are the epitome of that, ma'am. Ma'am, and ma'am, you
Thank you
yourself
so
have been
much.
an officer. You have served the country. You've given yourself a
Yes.
service. In
Yes,
fact,
yes.
ma'am.
And what I am today, getting respect in the civil world, it's all because of the values I have carried from the uniform and the values that my family, my parents gave me. And I have just carried that into the civil world. And I'm grateful to uniform and also to my parents for giving me those values.
Ma'am, that is really, really nice, ma'am. Really, really nice. Ma'am, tell us about your stint in the army. Like, some interesting anecdote of some posting or somewhere which stays on with you. Though there'll be a lot, but any one or two particular one which our viewers would be very, very interested in knowing. And of course, which will motivate them to join the army as well.
I don't know. My being in uniform came more by chance, by accident than anything else. I was a girl based in Delhi. Come from a pure civilian family. No one in my relatives was from uniform. But the glamour of uniform and that awe of uniform was there at that time. 71st, one war was just over, and Sam Manekshaw and Mrs. Gandhi, the way they stood up like icons in history at that time. And I had appeared for all the medical colleges in Delhi, as all medical college aspirants do. And AFMC was one of them. As luck will have it, the AFMC results came before the AIMS results. And one is never sure, AIMS is a big name. So the AFMC results came. I was, in the merit list on the first few of AFMC thing. So I said, why not? So I moved. My father and we went to Pune. I got admitted, and 3 days later, the AIMS results came.
Okay.
But somehow by that time, the fun of the ragging by seniors, little bit of tricking and also a lot of affection. You know how interesting it is. The other girls, we were. I just didn't want to go back, so I continued into it, Armed Forces Medical College, Pune, and saw more and more of uniform, liked more and more of it, and that's the first few steps in the armed forces for me.
Ma'am,
And
so
I'm
it must
happy.
be,
I'm so happy for the decision I took. No
And
ma'am,
regrets
and
whatsoever.
Nishit was very lucky, ma'am, to have utilized good services of a brilliant officer and a brilliant doctor like you, ma'am. Ma'am, it mustn't have been very difficult to adjust to getting married to an army officer, or was it thereafter when you got married?
I don't know. You make a commitment. You make a commitment when you marry a man. You don't make a commitment to him as a human being. You make a commitment to his whole self, his whole family, and it's like, I mean, at least for me personally, and most of the girls of that time, 1979, we got married. Marriage was a one-way street.
Army life, yaar.
So it the good things come with a little bit of a hardship, but you're not alone in it. When he was away to field postings and all, I was not the only one doing that. there is a whole lot of other families who are going through this, and the people who are posted in station, they take care. Army takes good care of women whose husbands are in field stations. So I didn't feel the pinch like that, and then I was in uniform myself, so not totally helpless in a certain way. I think it was not so bad. And distance makes the heart grow fonder. I think it's nice.
That is very
Uh,
true. Very well said.
every
Distance makes
time
the heart go fonder.
the men come back, it's like a second honeymoon for you. It's like
And there's a small poem I wish to recite. It is we both left home at 18. It's not written by me, of course. It's written by, I think, I'm not sure of the author, by
that.
Mr. B. Kumar, I think. It says,
Okay.
we both left home at 18. You cleared the prestigious JEE. I cleared an entrance test of UPSC. You got through IIT. I got through NDA. You pursued your degree. I pursued my passion and underwent the most rigorous and the toughest training. Your day started at 9 and ended at 5. Mine started at 5 and went on beyond 9, which meant I had to stay up many a night. You had your grand convocation ceremony. I had my passing out parade with pride. Best company took you and the best package was awarded. I was pipped with 2 stars on my shoulders, which I perceive is worth more than $1 million in the sky. You got a plum job. I got a way of life. You celebrated festivals with lights, music, and played with firecrackers. I celebrated live festivals in underground bunkers with my comrades and played with my life. We both were sent on our respective duties. You went on luxurious business trips. I went to the rugged line of control. But before that, we both had got married. We both returned. Both wives couldn't control the tears. And you wiped hers, but I couldn't. You hugged her, but I couldn't because my bullet-ridden body was lying in the coffin with medals on my chest, and the coffin was wrapped with the tricolor. My way of life ended. Yours continued. We both left home at 18. I became a martyr and became immortal because martyrs never die. They become legends and live in hearts and minds forever. Well, at the raw age of 21, you could be commanding over 100 men who live and die by your word. When you go home, tell them of us and say, for your tomorrow, we gave our today. Ma'am, is there any message you would like to give on this Republic Day to the youth of our country who are listening to you and who are getting motivated? And not just even the guy, even the voice.
Let me compliment. That was a beautiful couplet and you recited it so well. See, what I want to tell the youth today is that whichever strain you are, and especially the women, Army is, especially the women, young women, I think as a lady, there is no better service than Army, or services, I would say, be it Army, Navy, or Air Force, because the dignity you get as a lady there, the honest and the kind of integrity you see around you is not available anywhere else. There is no comparison. There are not only prospects of career growth, there are also prospects of personal growth, having a chance to serve the nation, the society, the kind of welfare, I have seen the senior ladies. I cherish my time with that my husband was posted with General Malik as is this thing. Dr. Mrs. Ranjana Malik became like a role model for me, the kind of, during the Kargil war, the kind of effort she put in, and you get so motivated seeing such, all-rounded personalities behind every successful army officer, especially, the ones who are in a very senior position where they can make a lot of change to so many people's lives, are their wives silently working toward the welfare of the families and looking after the wounded men and martyrs and things like that. Salute to them. Army gives you a great platform. Army gives you a great platform, and that's the way to go, I would say.
Very well said. In fact, that suddenly spontaneously reminded me of this poem. My father wrote a book, and in which he had dedicated a poem to my mother, to his wife. And this is
How
for all the
wonderful.
army officers' wives like you, who selflessly do their duty, do their bit to serve the nation in
How,
their own way. Man,
how
it
nice.
says, embodiment of grace and virtue, my wife, a pillar of strength, my support, my life, a person who's faced all perils by my side, never wincing to face the oncoming tide. Her sole aim to care for our children for. She has labored tirelessly on that score. Frugal with herself, she generously gave the best to family with what she could save. A homemaker, decorator, and excellent cook has ability to read a person like a book. Her counsel, seen advice could never be lost, ignored at great peril and miserable and immeasurable cost. 45 years together, what a blissful and fulfilling life. May Almighty bestow blessings on you, dear wife. May you retain your strength and nerve. You've done your bit. It's my time to serve. This describes the army wives so well, man. So well.
So wonderfully written. My compliments to your dad. Very
Thank you, man.
wonderfully
Thank you
done.
very much, man. Thank you very much, ma'am. It is really amazing to be in conversation with you.
Yeah.
And ma'am, if sir is there, both of you, any parting message from sir as well for the youth of our country, ma'am?
Yes, yes. Sir is right. Vijay is right here. I'll just hand over to him.
Ma'am,
One
thank you very much, ma'am. What an honor.
Most welcome. Most welcome. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, now I will like to talk little about after army, what happened.
Yes, yes, that's very important, sir.
Yeah,
So you can come a bit more towards your left. You can come a bit more towards in the frame.
okay,
Yes, yes, sir.
okay.
Sir.
You see, after suddenly when you're in such a in the final stages, I was also the MA to General VP Malik when he was the Army Commander in Southern Command and as a Vice Chief of the Army Staff, and finally the OSD to Chief of the Army Staff. That was the biggest chapter of my life because during that time, the growth in the personality was so much, learning so much from the Chief of the Army Staff. And you accompanied him wherever he went to number of foreign countries, holding discussion, he giving talks, interaction with various dignitaries, ambassadors, that side their defense minister, their CDS, their chief of the army staffs, and making recordings of all those discussions. That was a wonderful phase of my life. It was a great growth. I ever remain grateful to General VP Malik and to Madam Malik. She was also a great inspiration. She was also an army officer, Madam Rajita Malik. She was a doctor in the ONGC and a great personality by herself. She gave a lot of support to Chief of Army Staff Secretariat and helped our in develop so many aspects where my wife was also both being doctors. That was a great learning from them. I will never forget that phase of my life. Probably that changed my life quite a bit. And that is how, while I was the DDG Army Adventure Wing, it is before retiring only I was picked up as the Vice President by Grand Slam, company called Grand Slam. That company was taking care of 26 countries, Army sports, international sports, Army international adventure, and seminars, international seminars. So I was their advisor. Then they had another branch called Sea Wind Foundation, for which I was the advisor and the director. We planned around the sailing expedition, which is yet to go. It is already formed in. They are looking for a sponsor, and I'm still associated with them. I'm also director of an Bombay-based insurance company, which has got the top-notch 20 companies of the India as their clients, including Poonawalla, who got the Padma Shri today, and Ambani's and Adani's and everyone, and also some of the international companies. It's very nice working with them, interaction. Then I was with Canon India for some time as their advisor and vice president. So that was a good stint. Though I now officially left them, but I'm still honorary work doing with them. Anytime you call me, I will be there. Like the Grand Slam other day, they called me the chief, to meet a minister regarding some projects, new projects that we have to take. I know I'm interacting till date. Thereafter, me and my wife, we joined the Rotary Foundation, International
Oh yes.
Foundation.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
That is another very interesting chapter in our life. It is now something like you are giving back to the society.
Yes, sir.
Uh, we joined in 2016. And since then, since I was one of the main into the adventure, I was a chairperson of adventure in this thing. We planted about more than 25,000 saplings since then, and with the aim of, with the endeavor of having 70% survivability of these trees. We involved children from schools and we involved public. We gave them saplings, they planted. We started certain scheme where we could follow those children and their growth of their saplings. That is interesting. When my wife, being a radiologist, she did more than 4,000 mammographs, reported on more than 4,000 mammographs, uh, which was conducted in various remote areas around and around Gurgaon and also in far off places. So now I'm president-elect for the year 22-23, and I've already established my vision, what all I'm going to do, in which, of course, we have some permanent missions. One is the thalassemia foundation that we have got, thalassemia, in which we had first taken only 9 children, but today there are 110 children are being given treatment free of cost. And the blood that we are collect ourselves and with our own financial aid that we collect and also sponsors. The second one is the Rotary Public School, which is having about 2,600 children. And this school has almost gone to, during Corona period, had gone down because schools were closed. But it's been brought back immediately, and we are now having about 2,300 children again. This is one of the flagship of our club, and our club is 50 years old. And Dr. Khurana other day, when you were giving a motivation lecture, I saw him in that one. It is our district only that you are giving your motivational talk, and Dr. Khurana's PDG was there, and his
That's
wife,
right, sir.
Mrs. Khurana, is a leading and a very senior doctor. They are deeply involved into various projects of this. He is one of the leading lights of our club. So it's becoming so interesting. And third is we have created a mammography van, our club. This van with the equipment goes to various far off areas, conducts about 25, 30, about 500 to 700 patients in a month, free of cost. By now, we have done many thousand patients in and around Gurgaon, far off areas, wherever it is needed, wherever people demand, it goes. So that these are our permanent projects which are going on. And now what we are planning is much bigger punch in the environments, and then also the bigger punch in the medical. We have number of doctors with us. So I have made two teams. One is of the doctors, and second of the people who will identify the areas, okay, where we need to conduct the next camp, and all specialists will be available. We'll give treatment to them free of cost, and some of the tests we'll do it on ground and give the result then and there. And the second team is not only identify but also provide the logistic support, organize everything. Doctor teams go conducts everything, or blood donation camps. That is my second area. And third area is of course the help to poor, handicap, orphanage, old age homes. Provide them the financial help, the medical help, the training. Okay. So this is another area which I am looking for. And the fourth is skill development. We have recently started this skill development school in which we are training about 120 children in various aspects of computerization, computer skills, the plumbing, the electricians, in all these areas, carpenter. So, and we have associated with a international company, Udan, which is Empower. So this company will help them even getting the placement after 3 months, that official diploma that we will hand over. So this also I want to continue. So like that, I'm also making the district project, the global project. We are likely to open a new school. The school may be school for special children or maybe for vocational training. We have already got the land. We taken the possession in sector 17, and we have forwarded for the permission to the government. And once the permission comes, we will start this also. So there are a number of areas for which we'll get the district grant and Rotary International grant, and equally we'll have to put the same amount from ourselves to start the project. So these are some of the areas. Otherwise, there are many of them what we all are doing on a day-to-day basis. So it's becoming very interesting to at least after retirement life, you're busy, you're active, you're meeting friends and having meetings. Then we also have, our people like our Dr. Khurana is the coordinator for events like international events like interaction with Israel or with Pakistan, with various other countries of the International Foundation of Rotary. So it's very interesting to see those and interacting and learning more and more. So these are some of the aspects that I've been into. Sorry, there was disruption and this thing in between.
In fact, I apologize to you, sir. You are a very, very senior person, and I'm very, very sorry about this internet disruption. That's Murphy's law, sir. When something has to go wrong, it will go wrong in the worst possible hour. And
never been this kind of a glitch,
So I'm really sorry, sir. You are actually accustomed to doing webinars on Zoom, sir. So this was a new thing that StreamYard that you were trying. My sincere and humble apologies for that, sir, to you and ma'am. In fact, I'm very, very sorry.
Anything else you want to know? Anything else you want to speak?
No, sir. Sir, it was wonderful being in conversation with you, sir. एक घंटा कहाँ चला गया मालूम नहीं पड़ा बिल्कुल भी. You are such a good conversationalist, and it was. Thank you so much for taking your time on Republic Day. I know you are extremely busy, and today you had a lot of things to do, but you took me like a son because Gucci had introduced me to you, Siddharth, and of course, and thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Any parting message, sir, you'd like to give?
Yes. You have acted as a major in Priyanka's production. I remember in that regional movie of Assam as Kaziranga, you played a major, and that was a very good piece of acting that you did. And you are a multifaceted personality. You would say you yourself are inspiring to the youngsters and various other people in various different lives. My hats off to you, and you in such a young age, you're doing so well. You've already done more than 500 events, and by the time you're growing and you're doing every day. I just saw you live before that on the news app.
Sir.
Yes, you were
Sir.
covering news app live. So listen
Sir.
to you. Yes, I would like to say one thing to the youngsters today. Please don't look for easy jobs here. You want to do MBA and straight away want to earn about 60, 70, 80,000 or 1 lakh or a better package. Sit in the AC, this thing, get a AC car, or you're looking for a easy way of life. Let me tell you, the armed forces are providing you excellent opportunity today. The pay packets are not what we were in our age. I started with 450 rupees as a second lieutenant, with 175 rupees as a DA. But today, the moment you land up in the academy, as you know, you start getting a full lieutenant's pay. And by the time you're commissioned, you're getting about good 50, 60, 70,000 rupees, plus all fund. Whether it is medical or it is journey or it is traveling or whatever. And the respect and when you don uniform, the self-confidence you get, the feeling you get is so different. Then you can explore other areas, adventure, anything new. There are so many nodals of our adventure wing all over the country. You can join anything. You can do mountaineering, skiing, winter sports, water sports, desert sports. Himalayan rally, you can participate in. It's conducted by us every year. In sports, adventure, then you can even grow yourself. If you're posted in a place like, say, Bombay, like I joined my Xavier Institute of Management and attended the classes in the evening, and I could easily get the degree, and I topped the degree. I got a gold medal because my experience of army and then transferring it into the management, like you spoke other day to the Rotary, it is on the same way. I got opportunity from Hindujas, about Ambanis, about everyone, but I never shifted. I continued because I love the uniform till date. Even if I get chance today, within 1 hour I'll be there in uniform. And even next life, I would like to be born and serve the Indian Army. It's great. Indian Army.
These lines of yours remind me of this letter which Captain Vijayan Thapar had written to his parents when he went for Kargil. Since you were in fact, the OSD to General Malik, the Chief Army Staff during Kargil War. So Captain Vijayan Thapar, who was awarded a Veer Chakra post, famously wrote to his parents, "My loving Papa, Mummy, Granny, and Bertie, by the time you get this letter, I would be observing you all from the skies, enjoying the hospitality of Apsaras. I have no regrets. In fact, if I were to be born again as a human, I would choose to join the army and serve my nation. Whichever organ needs to be taken should be taken and donated. Please donate some money to the orphanage and continue giving rupees 50 to Ruxana every month. I hope the sacrifice of these brave men is remembered and inspires generations to come. I hope a photograph of mine is kept in the Alpha Company Mandir next to Karni Mata. Papa, you must be proud. Mama, so must you. Mamaji, please forgive me for anything wrong that I may have done. Anyhow, it's about time I go and join my clan of Dirty Dozen. My assault party has 12 chaps. Live life king size. Yours, Robin. Jai Hind."
Very well said. Very well said. Very well said. Very well said. Great.
Thank you very much.
So, dear, thank you very much for being so patient with me.
Sir, no, sir. It's the other way around, sir. You have been very patient with me, sir. Thank you, sir.
So, Jai Hind, dear, it was a great day. I will always remember this. Great.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your graciousness, sir. Jai Hind, sir.
Bye.
Bye. I'm just ending the broadcast, sir.